we start with your name, the company, your title, and what you all do.
So I'm Michael McLaughlin. I'm the Chief Technical Officer for Anyar Inc. And did you want to know what Anyar does or something along those lines? So,
yes, please.
Okay, so Anyar is a launch to lethality company, and the short elevator speech of that is effectively we write simulation software to model weapons coming off of platforms and through their trajectory towards targets and the effects that those weapons eventually have on targets. So whether they're air-to-air engagements, air-to-ground, or air-to other parts of the atmosphere, we help model that for the Air Force Research Lab and other customers. So that's what we focus on, and there's a lot of software that has to be written, so we need a good software process, and that was exactly part of the process and reason for doing CMMI.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Very cool to hear that, right? We see all those things in real on the news channel, and we know what behind the scene now. So good to hear that.
Yeah, we tell people it's like game software, except it's not a game, it's real.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the reason for you to reach out to a CMMI consultant or a consulting company like us?
I had, in a previous company, I'd seen how much effort and time it took for them to try to do it on their own. And I just didn't think that a small company like ours was going to be equipped to actually take that on by ourselves. And I was right. Yeah, the knowledge that Sunita had, trying to gain that knowledge on our own would have just been very painful. We'd still actually be working on it. We would not be finished for sure. So the consultant you didn't know it at the time, but it was, if you had to look back now, it's like there's no other way to do that efficiently. You have to, I think, especially if you're a small company, engage a consultant, or it's going to be very painful, very long, and you'll probably not come through the appraisal without having to do it again.
Gotcha. Thank you. Appreciate that. And did you do L3, L2, and what constellation did you do?
We did CMMI Level 3 Dev.
Okay. And what was the timeline like?
I think we completed it in about a year. We started, I think, in the fall or late summer. We thought we might be able to finish in December, but we had some program changes. So we said, we're not on a strict timeline. We don't need to finish now. Let's just try to do it right. And if we have to stretch it out, we'll stretch it out. So we eventually wrapped it up last month.
Okay. And can you describe in a few sentences your experience with the Sync Resource team?
Yeah, the Sync Resource team, specifically Sunita, basically walked us through an introduction to this is what CMMI is and how they're going to assess you and appraise you. You really didn't appreciate what she was saying at the beginning because she showed us, I think it's called the PID workbook. Really didn't understand what the PID workbook was until she actually started walking us through building out all the pieces and components. That's where I was like, okay, this was clearly going to be very complicated. We wouldn't have had a clue on how to set up the entire PAL, cross-link everything, build up all the artifacts, make sure all the process diagrams lined up and were synchronized. It's just an enormous amount of work. And literally she walked us through every step from beginning to end, from the high level down to all the details, and brought us back up to the point where it was time to put the briefings together to explain it all. So yeah, you needed a consultant that knew how to go start you top level, walk you all the way down, then bring you back up to that level where you could actually talk about it in a general way. So it was a great experience in the sense that with the consultant, you can actually get there, but it was a lot of hard work. And that was also a good reason to have a consultant there, because it is hard work, but I think it's worthwhile.
Okay. And did you learn how to implement as a company with Sunita?
Yes. So we are basically going to take what we did for one of the teams, and now we'll use the process tailoring for other teams. So we're going to take, the process is going to live on. We're actually going to, our plan is to, and we have an ad out right now for a process improvement specialist. So our plan is to bring a person in and take them through the full training for CMMI Level 3. Say, here are all the process things you need to understand, and then say, okay, here's the things that we need you to start taking care of, and across the company, wherever if there's a problem that we need to trace, we trace it using the methods. So all of our teams have actually started doing that. So if IT has an issue, they record it properly now. If HR, so we don't actually care if it's not just software, it's any process we have. So yes, we are taking it to heart.
Very nice, nice. Good to hear that, because implementation is the key, and a lot of time we do mention in the earlier calls you and I would have had is that we take time to train so that you understand, it's a lot of investment of time and money. It does make sense to learn your systems, right?
Right.
That's great. Now, what motivated you to work with us at Sync Resource versus others? I'm sure you would have, did your research.
Well, we did some research, but literally when we got a chance to talk to Sunita and she outlined what she was going to do, I already knew that was the full process, and I knew how much our previous company spent on that process, and it was a lot more than what Sunita said it would take for us to get through. I mean, order of magnitude, easily more was spent. They were a larger company, but they were literally only doing a division, and a division at that company was about the size of Anyar.
Yeah.
So say, okay, this is well below what I expected to hear. So I thought the price to benefit ratio for us was already hitting the mark for what I was looking for. And I think I may have had that discussion with you. So I was already clear. This is well within the price to benefit ratio I was looking for. It's like, okay, I can look at other people, but I think this is already where I wanted to be. And I thought, just from the fact that the experience that you talked about that you had with the number of different companies you had, and you already had basically the process lined up where we go through the work to put all of our artifacts together, and there was already an appraisal team that could come in, and it was all synchronized. I didn't have to go handle one piece and then handle another piece. It's like, look, you come in, we get you from here, guaranteed all the way out the door with an appraisal where you should pass if you just do the things we ask. It's like, that's what I wanted to hear. So if you're going to guarantee I'm going to get there, then I'm going to work with you. So I looked at other people online, but I didn't see anything that made me more comfortable than I was with you guys.
Yeah, wonderful. Good to hear the experience. I hope to continue for the others, and this conversation will definitely help, someone else as well. Did you at all notice any of our educational emails or informational emails sent out to our team? Not really.
I don't remember that because we were so busy with Sunita. So
that's all right. And from the appraisal point of view, I know Sunita and her team prepared you already. Did Sunita needed to be part of appraisal, or did you do it yourself with the presentation meeting? How did it go?
Sunita basically cut us loose. We did the briefings ourselves. Sunita was not actually part, I don't think she was part of our briefings. I don't believe she was in the interviews, but if an issue came up, we pulled her in if necessary. So
right.
I think she prepared us well enough to handle the briefings ourselves, both the company briefing and the project briefing. We had to answer some questions. We had one follow-up session with the appraisal team where we and they disagreed on something, and we brought Sunita in, and it was clear that they just didn't understand part of one of our answers, and so she helped clarify all of that, and then that issue went away. So there was only one time where we all had to get together and have a discussion to talk about, well, here's how this is handled. What part of what we said we were handling didn't meet with what you were looking for? And they were, oh, okay, that's taken care of. So there was only one time that happened. So it wasn't a big issue.
Gotcha. All right. And did you get the appraisal certificate yet, or it's in the process? It's the 60-day timeline, or you already have it?
Yeah, 60-day timeline, but we know everything's been submitted.
Yeah. That's how they tell you. So that's great. So very well appraised. Happy to hear that. Any other comments that you would like to add?
Yeah, I think the process you're using is a good one, especially with the fact that Sunita has it seems to have such a big library of different ways to present information. So I think that was, if you were going to, I don't know how you tell people that kind of information, but I think it's a strength you have, that not only do you understand the CMMI appraisal preparation process, but you can tailor your knowledge and resources to specifics for each company. Now, you probably already say that somewhere, but it was apparent that when we would talk with Sunita, it's like, hey, Sunita, I need to be able to do this. Well, I have a complicated version of that, a medium, a low version. You can pick, and then we worked from there. So she always had resources that we could use to help us meet requirements on things we may not have thought of. We were probably doing it, but we hadn't actually put it on paper.
All right, very good. And last but not least, I think the camera turned off for some reason, but no worries. Would you refer Sync Resource to other companies?
Oh, for sure. No doubt. Especially if you're trying to get this done on a schedule with a known budget and a reasonable timeline, you are right on the money with, yes, we will get you there for the resources you expend within the timeline you're looking for.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.